Hey good people, welcome back to BKC Cooks. I'm Brandon Carpenter and today we're working on beef tri-tip. So if you've never had it before, tri-tip is a sirloin roast, and they call it tri-tip because it has these 3 points. And this thing is going to be absolutely delicious. It's very popular in California from what I understand. I'm familiar with it from my days as a cook, and we would do these for banquets, large events, things like that. So you can slice this up into steaks, you can slice it thin for sandwiches, you can just slice it thin as, just for service. And that's what we're gonna do. I'm actually gonna smoke this slow on my Char-Griller Gravity 980. And I'm basically gonna do a reverse sear. I'm gonna smoke it to 120. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna get my grill nice and hot. I'm gonna sear it off. I'll let it rest, and I'll slice it up for my family to enjoy. So what I have is a prime 1 tri-tip from the good folks at HEB, world's greatest grocery store. They don't pay me to say that, but again, HEB, if you want to, I'm your man. So this has quite a bit of fat cap and some other undesirable stuff that I'm gonna get off of here. If I was gonna hot cook this all the way through where that fat would render, I might not take so much off of it, but because we're doing it low and slow and just searing at the end, I'm gonna take that fat cap down a little bit, and any other silver skin or, again, undesirable stuff that I see on there, I'm gonna take it off. But you can just see here right through the packaging. It has beautiful marbling, and this is gonna be really, really tasty. So let's get this out of the package. We'll get it trimmed up, fire up the grill, and get it going. Let's go. All right, so we got it out of the package, and again, this stuff is not all gonna render for the amount of time I'm gonna sear it. So I'm gonna get in here and take off a lot of this loose stuff, silver skin and whatnot. Just take your time. Make sure you're not gashing it or gouging it in any kind of way. This stuff is going to make for a happy dog. He's already circling. So something like this, I think that's just gonna cause me problems. So I'm gonna get that off of there. As you can see, some of this is just pulling right up with my fingers. So I'll get up under it. This is a nice little layer of silver skin that I'm getting off of here. We don't want to get every bit of fat off of here. We want it to get to a point where it's going to cook up really nicely, still have lots of flavor, and not just have huge chunks of unrendered, unpleasant fat. So I'm going to get a little more of this off of here. This side, as you can see, there's no point in keeping anything like that. This is coming right up. Yeah, if you leave that on there, you will not be happy with your final product. So we'll get this thinned out, seasoned up, and we'll be smoking before you know it. little time and patience, and you're in business. So, you know, you can trim on this thing all day. Again, you don't want to remove too much fat, but I think that's going to be good for our needs today. So we'll get it seasoned up and on the grill. Okay, so we're going to season this. We're just going to do it really simply with some kosher salt. Make sure you get it all. Get those sides there. It's a big piece of meat, so you can be pretty generous. And again, do it to your own taste, man. Do some granulated garlic. Not a ton, just to give some good flavor. Lastly, we're gonna do black pepper. This is very coarse. This is 16 mesh black pepper. You see this pretty frequently here in Texas. It's like the standard for barbecue down here. But I think for what we're trying to do, this is gonna work out really well. Okay. Don't want to waste any of that, so we'll just pick that stuff up off the board with our unseasoned side. And then we're going to do it the same way on this side. So, garlic. And our black pepper. So that's it. I'm not going overboard with this because I'm gonna have a couple different things I'm gonna do at the end. I'm gonna make a sauce to drizzle over this after it's cooked. I'm also gonna have some little garlic butter, little dollops. So I'll serve it two different ways. But this is seasoned up. We're gonna get it on the smoker, get a probe in it, and get going. All right, so I'm cooking this tri-tip with some B&B lump charcoal. I got a good base in there already. And I'm gonna be adding some post oak chunks. This is going to give a really nice flavor to that tri-tip. Do about 4 chunks, that should do it. And top it off with a little more lump charcoal. That'll get it done. So I use a tumbleweed fire starter. Always remember to pull that shutter. All right. Gonna let this burn for about 5 minutes. Close the hopper door, close the ash pan door, and get it going. All right, we're up to 250. Time to get this thing on. Now I'm gonna use the meat probe that comes with this unit. And I'm gonna try to aim right for the middle. So the grill is designed so that the meat probe is built in. Of course, it's detachable to wash, but you just plug it right in there. And that's going to tell me right on the Char-Griller app what the temperature at meat is, and I can set an alert so that when it hits 120, which is what I'm shooting for, it'll send an alert to my phone and let me know. So right now we're going to go in, work on a sauce that's going to go on this tri-tip once I slice it up. So we'll let this thing do its job and we'll get our sauce going. All right, so let's talk about this sauce. I'm cheating today, but I've been cheating for a while. You let certain people tell you. They think my new fancy contraption of a grill is cheating. I agree with them. They just mad because they ain't got one, but they'll get one soon. But at any rate, I'm using a product called More Than Gourmet. This is like a condensed demi-glace. So you mix this with water, and it's supposed to give you a pretty decent demi-glace. This is going to be my first time trying it, so I'll definitely let you know how it comes out. But I'm going to be making a garlic and herb demi, so I'm going to prepare this the way the instructions tell me to, and I'm going to add a couple cloves of garlic and a couple sprigs of thyme and let that simmer. And then, of course, I'll taste it for salt and pepper, and I'll strain it. And I'm gonna also, I got some mushrooms in the fridge, so I'm gonna saute those up and throw those on top as well. And again, I got some garlic butter little dollops, so I'll have that as like a secondary topping or sauce. That way we can kind of mix it up, have a bit of a variety. So we'll get this sauce whipped up and see how it goes. I know old Chef Louis is cussing me out really good right now, but sorry, Louis, I don't have 20 hours to make a demi-glace. It's just for one tri-tip. I know he still don't want to hear my excuses, but shout out Louis, my dog. So this stuff is really dense. It's not dissolving easily, which is not a bad thing. That lets me know that it's not just a bunch of powder or something. When I read the ingredients list, it had everything that goes into a good demi-glace and not a bunch of junk in it. So I'm pretty confident this will turn out. It'll turn out well for something out of a package. Smells really good. Smells like a very, very well concentrated demi-glace. So I'm gonna let that dissolve a bit, and I'll add in the garlic and the thyme. Okay, now I'm gonna add the garlic and the thyme, and I'm doing these. I just smashed this one garlic. I got a nice big garlic clove, so I just smashed it a bit, and a couple sprigs of thyme. I'm going to be straining this, so I'm not worried about separating all that stuff or getting anything minced up really fine or anything like that. I'm just basically going to extract the flavor out of all of that stuff strain it, and I'll have my sauce. So I'm gonna let this simmer about 4 or 5 minutes, really low, because I don't want to evaporate this too much because it's pretty thick already. So we'll let this simmer low. I'm gonna cover it, and I'll get my mushrooms going. All right, now I'm gonna saute some mushrooms, really simple. Just about a tablespoon and a half of olive oil in there. And we'll let those saute until they're golden brown. Okay, my mushrooms are nice and golden brown. I'm just gonna hit them with a little bit of salt, fresh cracked pepper. Give that a little stir. I'm gonna finish them off with a nice little chunk of butter. Gonna kill my heat. Mushrooms are done. Let's check on our sauce. It's looking pretty good. We'll give it a taste here. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm just gonna add just a pinch of salt. A little cracked pepper, not a whole lot. Now I'm gonna strain that, get all the thyme, the chunks of garlic, everything out of there. And I'll keep it warm, put it to the side, and get it ready for our delicious tri-tip. All right, so we reached the temperature we wanna be at. As you can hear, the grill is making an alert. I got an alert on my phone. So I'm gonna pull this off. I'm gonna crank the temperature all the way up to about 650. Let it get up nice and hot. Then I'm gonna sear both sides. Then we'll let it rest and we'll slice it up. All right, we'll let this get up to temperature and we'll get searing. All right, so we're up to 650. It only took a couple of minutes. I hit the turbo button on there, so it got it up to temperature really fast. So I'm gonna take the probe out of the tri-tip. I'm gonna get it on here. We're gonna sear both sides and let it rest. I'm gonna let that sear just until that gets nice and brown, builds up a nice crust on there. All right, I got a nice, beautiful sear on here. I flipped it around a couple of times, make sure both sides were seared evenly. So I'm gonna get this inside, let it rest, and get to slicing. All right, y'all, so we got our finished product here. So when you slice this like any other piece of meat, you wanna slice it against the grain. That way it's not tough and chewy. And this is looking pretty good. Super juicy. And I cook mine in medium rare. If you wanted a different temp, by all means, you should cook at a different temperature, but that is just right for me. So we're gonna get this sliced up. I'm gonna put some sauce on some butter, and see how this turns out. All right, so I've got my garlic butter dollops on this side. I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of that demi-glace that we put together over here. And I'll leave some in the middle just to taste them plain. Okay, so here's the part where I'm supposed to do the taste test, right? Technical difficulty. Somehow or another, that clip just disappeared from my files. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened, but it disappeared. And there's no way I can match that up without cooking that thing all over again. So I apologize that the video won't have the continuity that it's supposed to have, but just a summary of it, it came out delicious. It was great. The demi-glace sauce, the herb and garlic demi I made was fantastic. For a pre-packaged demi, it was quite impressive. So tip of the hat to the folks that make that. It was really good. Also the garlic butter dollops, the tri-tip that I had with that, also amazing. They were two completely different tastes. They were both great. You could take them either way. And I think even having both of them on the plate at the same time gave a great contrast. So again, I apologize that this video isn't, it's not up to my standards, but I did want y'all to see everything else that I did. I did most of it right. I cooked it right. I just didn't get it all together at the end, but I do appreciate y'all watching. And there is one section of you see me here coming up, enjoying that tri-tip, and I absolutely enjoyed it, and my family enjoyed it. It was phenomenal, and I'll definitely cook it again. So again, I thank you for your patience, and here's the rest of the video. For this to be the same piece of meat, I mean the exact same piece of meat, it just went in two totally different directions. Two totally different flavors. They are both delicious. So I'm gonna serve this up. I'm gonna plate it up and not eat it like a caveman. Get ready to feed my family. I know they're hungry, but I want you to give this a try. It's really good, especially if you can find it in your stores. And that's gonna wrap it up for this. So if you can, please, as always, smash that bell. Look at my fingers. Smash that subscribe button. That way you're notified when I release new content. And as always, I wish good eating to y'all. Take care. It's good stuff.